Level 1. The name tag. You have $19 to last until Friday, and the woman across the folding table asks if you can smile when you don't feel like smiling. You say yes. Everyone at the table says yes. 2 teenagers, a retired teacher, a man your father's age in a tie he ironed for this. Everyone is lying a little. You will learn that this is the entire job. You didn't plan to be here. You moved to Orlando 14 months ago because someone you loved got into nursing school here, and 6 months ago she decided the school was the only thing she was keeping. The apartment is $1,240 a month, and it is all yours now, which sounds like winning and feels like drowning. You have sent out 62 applications since March. The biggest theme park on earth is the only place that called back. The recruiter's name is Denise. She has seen 1,000 of you walk in wearing 1,000 versions of your face. She slides the offer across the table like it's nothing, because to her it is. Parking operations, $13 an hour. Hours not guaranteed. Orientation Thursday. Bring black non-slip shoes. The shoes cost $42, and the $42 is on you. Orientation is a windowless room and a video about creating memories. Then come the real rules, the ones that will run your life. Never point with 1 finger, 2 fingers, or the whole open hand. Never say, "I don't know." Never let a guest see you sitting down. There is a language for everything. Backstage, never the back. A situation, never a mess. You are not staff. Your badge uses a friendlier word, and the friendlier word costs them nothing. You practice the 2-finger point in the mirror that night, and you feel ridiculous, and you do it anyway. They print your name tag while you wait. Your name spelled right. Your hometown underneath. It is a small rectangle of plastic, and for 1 embarrassing second, it feels like the first thing anyone has handed you in months. Your first shift is a parking lot the size of a farm at 7:15 in the morning. 8,000 cars will pass your section before noon. Your tools are a flashlight, a whistle, and a wave. The cars obey you. Nothing else in your life does, but the cars do. On your second day, a woman rolls down her window just to tell you that you have personally ruined her family's vacation. The park has been open for 9 minutes. On break, you do the math, because you always do the math now. $13 an hour, scheduled 34 hours a week, floating just under the line where benefits kick in, and nobody had to explain that to you. The schedule explained it. Your first paycheck is $391 after taxes. Rent is $1,240. The bus pass is $50. The shoes already happened. On day 3, a tram driver clocks you counting hours on your fingers. Her name tag says DOT, and under it, 28 years. She hands you half a sandwich you didn't ask for, and the only orientation that matters. Water before you're thirsty, shade whenever they offer it, and write your number down, baby. Whatever number gets you out of here, write it on something you keep. The ones who never write it down are the ones still here. That night, you take the park map they gave you on day 1, fold it into your wallet, and write 1 number on the back in pen. You don't tell anyone what it is. You clock in tomorrow at 6:45. Level 2, load side. The transfer list goes up on a corkboard backstage, and your name is on it. 5 months of asphalt buys you a coaster crew. Attractions, a machine that swallows 60 people every 90 seconds and hands them back screaming and grateful. You rotate positions every 30 minutes so your brain never rots in one spot. Greeter, merge, load, unload, tower. You memorize a safety spiel until you can recite it in your sleep, and then you actually do recite it in your sleep out loud, and your roommate bangs on the wall. Your lead is Marcus, 31, calm hands, the fastest radio voice in the building, 7 years on this platform. On your first morning, he gives you the sentence you will still be quoting a decade from now. The ride is a machine. The line is a machine. You're the part that gets to think. So you think. You learn to read a crowd the way sailors read weather, where it thickens, where it breaks. Which father is 2 minutes from becoming a problem. Code words crackle across the radio all day, and you learn that a protein spill means somebody's lunch came back up on row 4, and that the fastest cleanup crew in the county works for $13 an hour. The heat index hits 104, and a man spits at your shoes at 9:40 in the morning because lightning closed the ride. You point him toward guest services with 2 fingers and your equipment smile. The smile goes on with the name tag now. Most days it comes off with it too. Most days. In August, you catch it. A dad lifting his daughter over the rail toward a moving platform, 1 second away from a headline. You slam the stop. The whole machine freezes. 400 people groan at you, and you have just done the most important thing you will do all year. The tower logs it. Marcus writes your name in the small notebook, leads keep, and taps the cover twice. That's how it starts, he says. Your review lands, $13.75. July overtime, 6-day weeks, 12-hour heat, produces the biggest paycheck of your life, $702, and it is gone in 4 days because your life had a waiting list. You convert everything now. The $7.50 churro you point guests toward costs you 33 minutes of standing in the sun. They buy it without breaking stride. You give up the $1,240 apartment and rent a room in a house with 3 roommates for $540. You ride the first bus of the morning with nurses and line cooks, the quiet shift that actually carries this city. You learn the park's real org chart too. It is not on any wall. The schedule is the boss. The schedule has no face, no office, and no appeal process. People with 20 years in still check it on Thursday nights with their stomachs tight, same as you. Thursday, 9 p.m., the whole break room goes quiet and glows with phone screens. Most weeks, $40 goes to the number on the map. By Christmas, the number says $1,100 and the paper has gone soft at the folds. Dot asks once what the number is for. A door, you tell her. She nods like that's a complete sentence. Around here it is. What it costs, weekends stop existing because weekends are attendance. Your college group chat plans a lake trip. You type, have fun from a break room that smells like sunscreen and fryer grease. Your body learns the work. Forearms from restraint checks, a permanent squint, the ability to fall asleep instantly and completely, like a switch being thrown. In spring, a posting appears from entertainment, character performer, height 5'10" to 6'2", $15.50 an hour. It's brutal, Marcus says. It's also the only raise in this building right now. You're 5'11". You sign the list. Level 3, the fur. The audition lasts 30 seconds and has no lines. They play music and ask you to walk like Joy without using your face. You get the job because you fit the costume. That is the entire secret of show business at your level. Be the right size at the right time. The suit weighs close to 40 pounds. The head alone is 12. It is 118 degrees inside the fur on a July afternoon, and you work 25 minutes on, 40 minutes off, in a cooling room full of dripping, laughing, half-dead performers. A 10-year veteran everybody calls Tank teaches you survival in one shift. Freeze a bandana overnight and wear it under the head. Sip water, never gulp. And if the heat takes you, go down kneeling, slow, graceful, like it's part of the show. Because no kid on earth should ever watch their favorite character collapse. Then he says the thing you will be turning over for years. The suit is a mask, rookie. Don't ever let it become the face. Inside the fur, you are famous and you are gone. Kids sprint at you from 40 feet at full speed. Teenagers punch your ribs to see if you're real and film it. Your handler, 19 years old, 5'2", absolutely fearless, throws herself between you and everything stupid 40 times a day. The contract says the character has no voice, so for 6 hours a day, neither do you. You even learn to sign the character's autograph in the character's handwriting, because your own handwriting belongs to a person who does not exist in here. One Tuesday, a small boy comes through the photo line wearing a hospital bracelet, a lanyard from a Wish Foundation, and no hair. He takes your paw and does not let go. Not for the photo, not after it. The line stacks 30 families deep, and your handler looks at the supervisor, and the supervisor looks at the line, and then quietly loops it. And you stand there holding a 7-year-old's hand for 11 extra minutes, saying nothing, because you are not allowed to, saying everything somehow anyway. In the changing room afterward, you cry into a towel, and Tank puts one hand on your shoulder and says nothing at all, because some things at this job are sacred, and none of them are in the handbook. You keep watching the machine, because you cannot stop now. The photo package sells for $89. Your line moves 200 families on a slow day. You do the math inside the head, dripping. Nobody is paying for the character. They are paying for the minute. You file that sentence away like a tool you don't have a use for yet. Then Yesenia from the costume shop pulls you aside. She runs birthday parties on weekends. Generic knockoff characters. Nothing anyone's lawyers can call by name. 45 minutes, $120 cash, plus whatever the parents slip you. Your first party is a backyard in Kissimmee. 15 screaming kids and a rented dragon suit with somebody else's sweat in it. Afterward, the father presses an extra 20 into your paw and says, "You're better than the ones at the park." He has no idea. You are the ones at the park. The map number crosses $3,400. Your knees start clicking. You are 25. The park calls what you do magic. Your chiropractor calls it something else and charges $65 a visit, cash. 10 months in, on a heat advisory Saturday, a performer 2 lands over goes down mid-set, kneeling slow, exactly the way Tank teaches everyone, and does not get up for a long time. That night you decide the suit is a season, not a career. Sunday morning, Marcus texts you. A lead position just opened on his crew and your name is already in. Level 4, the radio. They hand you a radio, and just like that, you have a voice again. Team lead, $17.25 an hour. A channel, a ring of keys, a laminated card with a procedure for everything from lost children to lightning. You are 26 years old, and 11 people look at you when something goes wrong. From one level up, the park stops being scenery and turns into arithmetic. Your coaster is measured in throughput, 1,750 riders per hour. And the number lives on a screen, and the screen lives on a wall, and somebody far away watches the wall. You move brakes like chess pieces. You learn which position burns people down fastest and rotate the tired ones into shade first. And Dot's voice is in your head every time you do it. You also learn what the radio really carries. Orders. September attendance dips and the word comes down to cut labor. You are the one who taps shoulders at 3:40 and sends people home 2 hours late. A co-worker with 2 kids does her month's math right in front of you, lips moving, and you both pretend it works out. A year ago, you would have hated the man doing this. Now you tell yourself somebody has to, and the sentence goes down smooth, and you notice exactly how smooth it goes down, and you file that away too. One overnight, the ride is down 90 minutes, and you sit in the maintenance bay with Manny, a contractor who has been fixing this park since before you were born, with a coffee thermos older than you. He waves a wrench at the whole dark kingdom. You know what this place sells. Not rides. Minutes. A family of 4 drops $900 here in a 10-hour day. That's $1.50 a minute, kid, and they would pay double. Whoever owns the minutes owns everything. You take out the soft folded map and write it down under the number. The money gets almost okay, which is its own kind of dangerous. Halloween season nights push your checks to $780. The map number crosses $6,240 by spring. You price your own hours out of habit now. The meeting that runs long costs the company $46 of you, and you are the only person in the room counting. Then the hurricane comes. The park closes for 3 days, and every hourly person you know loses a week of pay they will be feeling for 2 months. Salaried people get paid straight through the storm. You stand in the empty parking lot where you started, wind bending the palms flat, and you understand something they will never put in a training video. Which side of the paycheck line you stand on decides how the weather treats you. In March, an operations director calls you into an office with carpet. Supervisor track, salaried, $54,000 a year. You'd be the youngest in the building. Marcus, 7 years a lead, goes very quiet when you tell him. Then he shakes your hand anyway, because that is who Marcus is. Dot is on her tram, in the same lot as always. She listens all the way through, looks at you the way she did on day 3, and gives it to you straight. Salary's just a nicer word for a longer leash, baby. Take it. But only if you're taking something from it. You say yes on a Tuesday, not for the leash, for what the leash is about to let you see. Level 5. The carpet. The office has carpet, a door that closes, and a window facing a service road. You get an email address, a parking spot, and 74 people. Everyone congratulates you. Your mother cries on the phone, and on your first Sunday night, you do the math you already knew you would do. $54,000 a year, divided by the 60 hours a week this job actually takes, is $17.31 an hour. You got a title, a leash, and a 14-cent raise. But the leash lets you see. You see the numbers nobody at the platform level ever sees. Your land clears $212,000 on a good Saturday, and the labor line for that entire day is $31,000. The churro costs 61 cents to make and sells for $7.50. The photo package costs the company almost nothing because the camera was paid off years ago and the smiles are free. You sit in budget meetings with a notebook and you write everything down like a man auditing a class he was never supposed to get into, because that is exactly what you are. The average guest spends $71 inside the gates after the ticket and somewhere in a building you'll never enter. A person's entire job is moving that number to $74. The job also has moments nobody could have warned you about. A 4-year-old goes missing for 19 minutes on a Saturday, and you run the protocol calm as a checklist while your heart tries to climb out of your shirt. And when the mother gets him back, she grabs your hand and will not let go. And for 1 second, you are back inside the fur, being held onto by a stranger, mattering anonymously. You'd forgotten the park could still do that. It keeps this place from becoming a spreadsheet with fireworks. You also become the thing you used to fear. You write the schedule now. The faceless boss has your face, so you make private rules and you keep them. Post it 3 weeks out. Never float somebody under the benefits line without looking them in the eye first. Rotate the heat positions like lives depend on it, because they do. Then comes the order you can't route around. Peak season, and the word from above is to trim the shade rotation in your land. Fewer bodies, longer stretches in the sun. You have stood inside a fur suit at 118 degrees. You fight it in a conference room for 40 minutes. You win back half, and a week later there is a phrase in your file, not always aligned with operational priorities. You read it twice. You feel almost proud. Weekends, you are still in the rented dragon suit. 2 parties a Saturday, $220 cash, and you tell no one at the park because the handbook has opinions about outside work and you have opinions about the handbook. The map in your wallet is fragile now, soft as cloth. The number on the back reads $19,400. Then Gerald retires. 31 years in operations. They give him a sheet cake in the break room, a card everyone signs in a hurry, and a $200 gift certificate. His parking spot is reassigned by Friday. You stand there with frosting on a paper plate, looking at your own future with its jacket off, and something in you quietly closes a door and opens another one. That night, you do the napkin math. The dragon pays $160 an hour. The carpet pays $17.31. The next morning, Yesenia calls. She's going full-time into building costumes. The party business, the client list, 3 suits, the phone number parents already trust, is yours for $3,000 if you want it. You want it. Level 6. The van. You give your 2 weeks on a Tuesday because Tuesdays are how you make decisions now. Denise works in HR these days. She processes your paperwork, looks up, and asks if you can smile when you don't feel like smiling. Not anymore, you say. It's the first time you've ever heard her laugh. Then you are a company. It doesn't feel like a company. It feels like a used cargo van, $4,800 cash, with a shelf you build yourself for the suit heads. An LLC filing, $125. Liability insurance, $86 a month. And that boring little payment turns out to be a key, because hotels and corporate planners won't book an entertainer without a certificate. And suddenly, you're the only dragon in town with paperwork. You stop charging $120. You watch the park price minutes for years. Now you do it on purpose. A birthday package is $299 with photos. A hotel character breakfast, 3 resorts, standing weekly contracts, is $900 a morning. When a parent flinches at the price, you don't flinch back. The park taught you that too. The first hotel gig, you arrive 90 minutes early and steam the suit's collar in a service corridor, terrified. Afterward, a banquet manager in a better jacket than yours hands you an envelope, shakes your hand, and calls you the vendor. The check inside is made out to a company. The company is you. You sit in the van and look at it a long time before starting the engine. You pay your performers $25 an hour, double the fur rate, cash the same day, every day. Tank moonlights on weekends and brings 2 pros with him. You're doing it backwards, he says, counting his money, paying people like they matter. He means it as a joke. You don't take it as one. You learn the owner lessons the way everyone learns them, by bleeding a little. A performer no-shows a Sunday double, and you work both parties yourself, back to back. 40 pounds of dragon in 94 degrees. Monday morning, you write a rule on the van's whiteboard. 2 of everything. 2 suits packed, 2 confirmations, 2 plans. In April, quarterly taxes land like a piano out a window. $2,900 you didn't know you owed. And you hire an accountant who talks to you like a grown-up and costs less than the mistakes she prevents. January nearly ends you. 5 bookings in 31 days. The old fear comes back with its shoes on, checking the account before breakfast, doing food math in the grocery aisle. So you finally unfold the map all the way, and you look at the number you wrote on day 3, all those years ago, half a sandwich in your hand, $20,000. Door money, that was always what it was. You make yourself a promise, out loud, alone in the van. The account never drops below the door number again. Not ever. The number you wrote to escape becomes the floor you build on. By month 14, you have 11 performers, 46 events a month, $28,400 gross, and about $9,200 of it is actually yours. Good. Not the point. Because you've noticed something at every party you work. The venues, the trampoline places, the party rooms charge $450 to host the exact show you bring in the door. You are the magic, and the building is taking the gate. Manny's voice, years old now, sitting in your chest. Whoever owns the minutes owns everything. You don't own a single minute's worth of floor. Then, on a Sunday drive between gigs, you pass a dead family fun center on Route 92. Weeds in the lot, a ghost sign, and in the window, 4 words with your name on them, for lease. Inquire within. Level 7. The Little Park. 9,200 square feet, $6,500 a month, and a personal guarantee, which is legal language for, if this fails, it follows you home. It is the scariest thing you have ever signed. Your hand does it anyway. Manny comes out of semi-retirement for you, thermos and all. You buy 24 dead arcade machines at a liquidation auction for $16,000, and he resurrects 21 of them. The other 3 are organ donors, he says, elbow deep in a claw machine. Between your savings and a $45,000 equipment note, you are all the way in. There is no plan B, which is how you know it's a plan A. Yesenia delivers the mascot 2 weeks before opening. A big green dragon, built right, stitched by hand. She made you a promise with it. Nobody else's sweat in this one, she says, ever. You name him Ziggy. You do not tell anyone why the dragon, and you don't have to. You hire the way you always wished someone had hired you. You ask Denise's question, can you smile when you don't feel like it? And then you ask the one nobody ever asked you, what do you need this job to do for you? Starting pay is $17. The schedule goes up 3 weeks out. Full-time means actually full-time. And when you find her, the coworker whose hours you used to cut at 3:40, still doing her month's math with her lips moving, you offer her the front desk, 40 guaranteed hours, manager title. She cries in the parking lot. You pretend not to see. You have gotten very good at seeing anyway. Marcus takes the general manager job after 9 years as a lead. You went quiet on me once, he says. My turn. He gives the park 2 weeks and gives you the next decade. Dot cuts the ribbon on opening day with a pair of gold scissors from the dollar store. You hand her a laminated pass, lifetime, number 001. She looks at it for a long moment, then at you. You wrote it down, baby. That's all. It's everything. Party number 1 is a 6-year-old named Mateo, 11 guests, chocolate cake. You wear Ziggy yourself. The first time and the last time. 45 minutes of the old work. The sprinting kids, the held paw, the heat, the joy. Then you hang the suit in a glass case behind the front desk where every kid who walks in can see him. And you go back to being the man with the keys. Tank takes over the character program that same month and runs it like a general with a heart. The math is a knife fight at first. 14 party slots a weekend at $399. Game cards, pizza, the whole delicate machine of minutes. Rent, $6,500. Payroll, $21,400. Insurance, $1,100. The first profitable month clears $3,180, and you frame the deposit slip the way other men frame diplomas, because that is exactly what it is. You lose money for 7 months. In month 8, you don't. When a hurricane shuts you down for 3 days, you pay all 19 employees straight through the storm. $11,000 you barely have because you once stood in an empty parking lot and learned which side of the paycheck line the weather respects. Your side of the line pays out now. That was the whole point of owning the line. Year 2, you open the second building. Year 3, the third. And one slow Thursday, 2 men in polo shirts walk your floor taking notes on clipboards, and you smile because you know exactly what clipboard people are. Level 8, the guest. The offer is $4.8 million for all 3 locations. The brand, the party contracts, the whole small kingdom of minutes. You negotiate for a month. Marcus stays on as regional director with a real slice of the deal, in writing. And you keep the original Ziggy suit. The buyers think that part is a joke. It is not negotiable, and nobody on their side understands why. And Yesenia does, and that's enough. You sign. Your signature hasn't changed since the name tag paperwork all those years ago. Everything attached to it has. The money lands on a Thursday. You are elbow deep in a jammed skee-ball lane with Manny when the phone buzzes with more dollars than your whole family tree has ever touched, and you read it once, then hand Manny the socket he's waiting for, and you finish fixing the lane. Some machines still need fixing. It turns out you badly want to be the kind of man who finishes the lane. Then comes the strange, weightless season where nothing is wrong. The money sits invested and mostly ignored. You still price everything in minutes without meaning to. You still give directions with 2 fingers to strangers on sidewalks who have no idea why it feels so official. You still eat before you go anywhere with a gift shop. When somebody asks what you do, you say semi-retired and watch them try to reconcile that with your age and let them fail. You do one quiet thing. There's a uniform shop by the park gates that sells the black non-slip shoes, $42, to every new hire who can't afford them. You set up a standing arrangement with the owner. Anyone who comes in with a first-week name tag, the shoes are covered. No name given, no speech attached. $42 at a time. Forever. Nobody will ever trace it, and that is the entire design. One morning in October, you buy a one-day ticket, $164. You walk through the gates as a guest for the first time in your life. You ride the coaster. The kid working load checks your restraint with 2 firm pushes and a visual textbook, and you almost tell him good check and swallow it. You eat the $7.50 churro slowly, doing the 61-cent math, smiling at nothing. You stand in the shade Dot taught you to take. She's retired now, 31 years. And you have breakfast with her on the first Tuesday of every month. And she still calls you baby. And she is still the wisest person you have ever met in a parking lot. She orders the same thing every time and steals your bacon like it's a toll. At closing time, you walk out with the crowd, past the fireworks smoke, past the trams, past the hiring center with its banner still zip-tied to the fence. Now hiring. All positions. Start this week, and you see him, mid-20s, a tie he ironed for this, $19 to his name, or something close to it. You can read the math on a man's face. It's the oldest language you speak. He checks his reflection in the glass door, straightens up, and walks into a folding table where a woman is about to ask him if he can smile when he doesn't feel like smiling. He'll say yes. He'll be lying a little. He'll learn that this is the entire job. And if he's paying attention, he'll learn what the job never meant to teach him. How the machine counts, where the money actually goes, what a minute is worth to the person selling it. Tonight he'll practice a 2-finger point in a mirror and feel ridiculous. Some morning soon, someone will hand him half a sandwich. You hope he writes the number down.